Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 173. Today we got Ehroar on the show from Clan Redeem. Welcome, Ehroar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome. How's things?
Welcome. Good. We're doing good.
Nice. Good.
Some pretty impressive belts you got hanging on the wall there.
I like your
I don't know,
decorations.
my head's blocking one of them. Everyone tells me my fat head's in the way.
Can I?
Yeah, you're gonna have to rearrange that for maximum effect. Maybe do like a kind of like a halo
crown?
kind of thing, where all three of them.
Yeah,
are on your
something
head.
like that.
That would be pretty cool.
Can I order some of those off of Etsy by any chance? Can I get a link? No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Got to get world's
Maybe if
first.
you get
I think you gotta do a
plushie.
raid. Yeah.
Only world's first, exclusively, right?
We
Yep.
could get
Jeez,
that,
we're
right?
Usually so close.
Yeah, we've been
You guys
really
could do it.
close.
Yeah. I believe in you guys.
Speaking of world's first, how many world's first do you have under your belt?
4 in total, but 3 normal modes. So that's the 3 belts.
Okay, gotcha. What was
And the 4th is a prestige.
What was the prestige one?
Leviathan.
Leviathan prestige. Okay, nice.
No belt for that one. They didn't give a belt out for that.
Just normal mode belts. No hard mode / prestiges.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Unfortunate.
What was the most memorable world's first for you?
Last Wish, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the biggest raid in Destiny's history, longest, hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Biggest prestige, biggest viewership, everything.
The time it took, all that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Last Wish was
Everything about it was
insane.
outstanding.
Oh, I know. Every room you walk into, you're just like, what is going on? And then
Yeah.
seeing Riven as you fall down is what was
Then
your
being
first
Riven.
reaction to seeing Riven going down?
Well, I actually saw it on someone Ninja stream because they were
yeah.
in that encounter for 6 hours before us or something.
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah,
Nice.
but we were in Vault for like a long time.
Vault was tricky. There was a lot of
Yes.
I think I was watching DCP do it and I heard lots of theories of something about the light, guys. We got to figure
Penumbra.
out something to do with the light.
Antumbra,
What is
Penumbra.
yeah.
So much
the
misdirection everywhere.
The way the shadows cast, how each
Sounded
room
insane.
had different shadows.
Yeah, we were looking at everything on the wall, the ceiling, the shadows.
The shadow looks like a
It was
pea.
not
What
good.
does that mean?
We were at one point we were grouping these symbols into different types of animals and corresponding the animals to the room. So the tree room were birds, and like what we call globe or middle would be like the snakes. Like we were overthinking anything and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's great though about
That's a-
raid day is overthinking
Yeah.
stuff, coming up with wild
Yeah.
theories about, well, maybe it's this. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's just over here.
And it's
the best
always
part-
we know that. Yeah, we know not to overthink, right? But you
Exactly.
can't help yourself because at some point you're like, well, maybe I'm supposed to overthink it.
Yeah.
Exactly. There were so many times in Vault where someone would be like, I know what to do. I got it. We do it. Nothing. Back to square one. And like that happened 10 times.
Yeah.
What was frustrating for us in that encounter was that we hit on something that had nothing to do with the puzzle, but just
Mhm.
happened to work. To
Oh,
get us
that's
like
right.
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through.
Misdirection. Yep.
And like it just random chance got us like 3/4 of the way through, and then we were convinced that we must have just messed it up. So we just continued
Right.
on that path for hours after that.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's exciting when that happens. It's always fun.
Yeah.
That's why I recommend if you can get a group of friends together to do day one raids. It's really very unique gaming experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people who they will kind of just go completely dark until they beat the raid. So,
Mhm.
they have regular jobs, they can't take the day off and they'll just get to it when they can. And everyone on their team agrees to go blind and they just work through it. So it's 100% worth it trying to do it blind if you can.
Yeah.
'Cause you get those
that's what's nice about the
experiences.
last raid being released on Saturdays. Much more, many
Yeah.
more people were able to get into it, right?
Yep. Yeah. How'd you feel about the Garden of Salvation? How it was set up and the way, the pacing and all that.
I really liked it. Yeah, I liked everything about it. I liked pretty much every encounter. The first encounter is awesome. One of the best opening encounters of a raid. Then the bosses. There's a lot going on in the boss, so a lot of teamwork, coordination, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I really enjoyed it.
Did you like how Bungie did a contest and how there was several days beforehand?
Yeah, I think the way it should be done in the future is exactly like that, where it's easy to get to the minimum for contest mode. That way everyone's on the same page. That way, it's completely fair. So I really enjoyed that. I
Nice.
like that change a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, contest seems to be dialed in pretty well. Like it seems to be achieving what they want to achieve. Is giving everybody a chance to get into that raid day one, ready to go, and then basically it's skill, not the amount of time you put in grinding that gets you through the raid.
Yeah.
It's
Skill,
perfect.
communication, your ability to stay alive. Yeah. Those type of things. So back to the belts. You were at GC. So we didn't get a chance to go to GC last year, but there was a very special ceremony that happened at that time, right? And a certain changing of your
rig
name.
belt. Yeah, so Big Show pronounced my name Ehroar very loudly, like WWE style, and then roar. So that's the new thing.
Nice.
So whenever people see my name, that's what they say,
That
which is
great.
also my thing.
What was that like? Standing up there and getting the belt from Big Show?
It was crazy. Obviously, a once in a lifetime experience. When will you ever be able to get a belt from a former, champion in WWE? So
Yeah,
it was amazing.
that's really cool, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad they were able to put that together because he's a huge Destiny fan. And then having an event for you guys who have been world's first, I think is perfect. Especially as the belts take like 7 years to get to you if they go in the mail.
Yeah, right.
It can be kind of slow, a little bit slow.
What was it like
Yeah,
getting
we talked to him.
What was it like
I
getting?
was gonna say.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Go for it.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, you.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, you guys talk about how he's a big Destiny fan. We talked to him afterwards, and yeah, he was talking everything with us. He just wanted to talk Destiny, so it was pretty awesome.
So actually,
And he's a hunter.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up. What was it like getting the belt from a hunter?
I mean, it had to be done. I prefer Warlock, but
Ouch, man. Yeah.
Did you have to like wash it or anything afterward? Get the hunter off?
No, I think it was fine. I probably should though.
What do you consider yourself a Warlock main?
Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
Destiny 2, yeah. I've mained every character throughout Destiny, but in Destiny 2, Warlock 100%.
Oh,
Pretty much don't even look at the other.
don't even look. Wow.
What is it about Warlock that kind of keeps you engaged?
From day one in the beta, the Devourer and Blink, and it was the fastest class in the beta with Blink.
Yeah.
So I was naturally, as a speedrunner, pulled to that. Then I love all the subclasses. I love all the exotics. It's just overall really, really good foundation for like the type of things I do.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you get started in speedrunning in Destiny?
So if you guys remember in Call of Duty, like the Spec Op missions where there were like little training courses or whatever, I did that a bit. And then in Destiny, just one day there was Nightfall. It was Tanix with Arc and Specialist, and I was just speedrun this for fun, and I ended up getting the fastest time solo, beating out the fire team time.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's when the team Hidden Machine at the time noticed me and invited me, which then merged with Redeem several years later.
Oh, nice. So that's how you got started with Redeem?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
And this is back D1 days, obviously. Tanix.
Yeah, like House Wolves.
Well, Tanix is in Shadowkeep,
Right.
maybe.
No, it was House Wolves.
The shadow of Tanix. Are you a day one Destiny player?
Actually, Christmas time. I didn't have Xbox One, and I didn't have it for 360.
Okay, yeah.
But once I got Xbox One,
So you started on Xbox One during Dark Below.
yes.
Nice. When did you?
So I didn't.
At some point, did you get PS4 in Destiny 1's life?
Never.
Came
Wow.
from
Just
Xbox.
Xbox.
Nice.
All the redeemed people are all Xbox for the most part.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually didn't
Oh, I
realize
didn't
that.
know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's really cool. I started on Xbox with Destiny, but I did get PS4 eventually. But yeah, is there? So you say you like Warlock exclusively in Destiny 2. Is there things that you feel like you miss in D1 when it comes to the other classes that you wish was different?
Like I wish we're in D2.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. like I said, I mostly played whoever was like the quickest subclass or quickest character for speedrunning. In D1, that was Titan for the longest time. Then in Warlock or in Destiny 2, it's Warlock. So that's been the main factor, I guess. But I also just generally love Warlock in this game too, not just for the speedrunning.
Because of the dresses.
Yes. Dresses.
I'll refrain from saying certain things.
Tafty loves Warlocks.
They're the best. I love them.
Yeah.
So what do you currently speedrun actually? Like, do you look for certain challenges currently right now, or?
Doing YouTube has more so taken over my time. I don't really do that much speedrunning or challenges anymore.
Okay.
I do a few speedruns here or there that I find interesting. But I did that stuff all day, every day back in D1. I'm not necessarily burned out on it, but just focus
There's
more
only
on
so
YouTube
much,
and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so many things you can technically speedrun in the game before you've checked them all
I've
off
been
the
there,
box.
done it all.
Yeah.
What do you focus on your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
What do you focus on your YouTube channel?
Just pumping out as many videos as I can and quality videos.
What kind
I do
topic?
I do mostly like breakdowns of builds, weapons, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good. What was there about an activity that you would see and be like, this has a chance of me being able to speedrun this super fast?
I like activities that have a lot of heavy actor sections. So like strikes. Then Whisper the Worm. I love Whisper the Worm. I've never been a huge fan of raids besides Crota. Crota was my favorite raid to speedrun.
Is that because you could solo it? Okay.
Yep, I solo speedrun
I
it.
feel that.
Yeah.
Being able to solo Crota was great. I know for a long time people just talked so much crap about Crota, and then it seemed like in the past year maybe people appreciated it a bit more, which is interesting. And I think it's because it was a little bit more accessible for maybe not your average player, but a lot more people to do it in a duo or solo. And I personally really enjoyed that. I thought it added something really cool to be able to be like, you know what, I got some time. Let me just go do Crota. I don't need to find a team. So I liked Crota.
The pain of the initial like 3 or 4 months where it was super buggy has also worn off. Like going back to Crota now is colored by like the second version of that raid.
True.
But the initial version of that raid, when it was brand new, like you could spend hours in there just getting hit by bugs.
Yeah.
If Crota came into the room, though, that was always hilarious and amazing.
One of my favorite Destiny videos of all time was the one where Crota was just bugging out for like 10 minutes. Like it's just clips of Crota bugging out, like saying, "Get over here." It was a great video.
Chases you into the crystal room.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in here, dude?
That was the best.
But you like went down in the pit and he chased people up the stairs and it was a ton of them.
So when you see him start slightly moving, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Every now and then that knight upstairs from the crystal room would suddenly be in the crystal room with you because it glitched.
Yep.
It was like, what is this guy doing here? Those were great times. Yeah.
Good times indeed.
How do you like the raids in D2 versus the raids in D1? Now that we've got quite a bit of selection between the two of them at this point.
They're overall made way better. They're better raids. I think a lot of things in D2 are way better than D1. Just the way they're designed and whatnot. So I like them. That's pretty much it. I like them a lot.
Just across the board.
Everything about them. Yeah.
They're better. Yeah.
I don't think the only raid I haven't liked is Eater of Worlds. That's the only one.
Sure. Really? Interesting.
All the other ones are good.
Not the.
What didn't you like about Eater of Worlds?
Yeah.
It's a patrol with a boss at the end.
Okay.
There's an encounter where you're fighting off Cabal dropships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason.
True.
They're just there.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I loved it. I loved like the gunshot part of it. Where you get shot out the gun, especially like that first time where you're like, it's kind of a surprise. And then you gotta like aim yourself while you're falling. And then I love the final boss fight or like the final boss kind of arena because you got to be so mobile and you're constantly running around and
Oh yeah, the boss fight's amazing,
Yeah.
but everything else.
I feel like that's the thing that I remember about Eater Worlds is the boss fight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because that's all there was to it. Really.
That is
Well, no, like you
that is right.
said, there was the weird purple stuff. There was the gunshot thing. There,
Going into space. Yeah, it
That
was-
jumping puzzle on the pegs.
yeah.
I
The
like
ju-
I
yep.
do like that encounter.
Yeah, so there was stuff, but I
There's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Also, before we go into Destiny stuff, I wanted to talk about your YouTube career and actually when did you get started with YouTube? Actually, because I know we talked about speedrunning, getting into or connecting with Clan Redeem and all that, but like when did YouTube happen for you? When did it start becoming something and all that?
I've been doing it since like 2010 for fun.
Okay.
But then in Destiny 2, when it came out, is when I really started focusing. And I made a few videos here or there, and they got some good traction to them, and just kind of ran with it, you know? So Destiny 2 launched for sure, but really Forsaken once we got World's First Last Wish. Is
Okay.
where everything really picked up for all of us.
How often were you posting during D2 vanilla launch?
At the beginning, not at all. But once I started, like around Warmind-ish,
Mm-hmm.
try to do almost daily.
Okay.
Then towards Forsaken, almost 2-3 times a day
Wow.
for
Wow.
months. Yeah.
Wow.
What's your content
That's
like
a lot of
today?
videos.
Are you still maintaining that type of schedule?
When a DLC or season comes out, daily for as long as I can. If that's a month and a half, 2 months, whatever
Okay.
it is, then maybe a short break before the next season.
Nice. For someone starting out on YouTube, what would be
Mhm.
your recommendations for the way the gaming world is right now when it comes to YouTube videos?
Try to post stuff that people have questions about. Or even if you have a question about it, if it's something like you don't know right off the bat, there's probably a lot of other people that have the same question.
True.
So a lot of people on YouTube are looking for answers to something.
Mm-hmm.
So if is this gun good, or whatever.
Yeah.
Usually, compared to Twitch, where it's more entertainment and stuff like that, YouTube people are there for answers.
Mm-hmm. Information, right?
Yeah, you would definitely get picked up more so in search stuff. Because obviously people are looking for entertainment on YouTube, but in terms of what people are searching, like you said, yeah, they're totally going to be looking
To
for
grow,
answers.
you need to
Exactly.
be answering questions. I'd say.
You need the
Yeah.
Google algorithm to pick up. You need like at least a video that hooks into and how does this work, or so that you kind of get swept up by that Google algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you can start putting in, little series and stuff that's not just answering questions for people to be entertained, but we do want to keep a consistent upload of answering questions and just informative
To
things.
grow for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way to grow.
Answering questions,
YouTube.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why does Bungie hate this loadout? Click here.
Then you go into the clickbaits. Exactly. There you go.
There's a lot of money to be had in clickbait.
There is.
Another thing, you're known for breaking stuff, right? In Destiny.
Apparently, I guess that's the thing.
Yeah. How did that happen?
So obviously I've always been a speedrunner, so I've done stuff like that forever. I just didn't upload it necessarily, right? And now that I've become a YouTuber, I still find stuff here or there, but also people come to me with stuff, and then obviously I make a video, then it goes around, and Glad does it on stream, blah blah blah. Then next thing you know, it's disabled. So I guess that's the thing.
All right. You're the catalyst.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm the one that puts it out there, I guess. But it's not always me that finds it. A lot of times people will come to me with it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So a lot of people, they tend to gravitate towards you for discovering something that's
guess.
really weird that is happening in the game, right? Like Telesto, again, has some sort of weird...
Yeah, there's anything and everything with Telesto.
Telesto is aligned with the moon in a certain angle that causes the game to delete half its assets.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, with Bungie this week, stuff happened, right?
That was kind of like the first major bad thing that happened, right? Like Bungie's never had to do any kind of rollback. And in general, I think if we look at Destiny being this always online game, they've done pretty well in terms of not having really major screw ups with the game.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
But this was in people logged in, and after the patch, well, it wasn't even like a full patch, it was like a hot fix.
Mhm.
They logged in and they saw that their glimmer was gone, or part of it, their ascendant shards. There was
got
even lore
taxed.
missing. That's what we're saying. We were saying
It's the wealth tax.
Bungie tax man came in.
Mm-hmm.
Tess Eververse came around and said, time to
You
pay
ain't
the
been
piper.
We looked at the books. Looks like you haven't been reporting things correctly. I'm gonna have to take all your glimmer.
So for
We
anyone that
didn't know
did
she was a
log
narc
in,
for the IRS all this time.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah. What do you think Fen Church has been doing the whole time? Huh?
That's right. He's
She
been
is Fen
calculating
Church.
your earnings.
Yeah, he's been auditing everyone.
True.
Yeah, this is crazy. First time this ever happened
It-
for Destiny, right?
Yeah. It was everyone's accounts too. It didn't matter if you logged in or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were checking dim, and they're like, "Yep,
Yeah.
oh, my stuff's gone. Great, fantastic."
So
Yeah, but they fixed it.
yeah, so they
They
had
did,
to
yeah.
actually roll back the data. Like they had to roll back to have a few hours or whatever of the player database. Again, that's never been done before in Destiny history. So this is
No.
a pretty monumental screw up that happened
Yeah.
in that side. And luckily they were able to just roll back a few hours. So if you happen to run through the raid and get anarchy during that hour, I'm so sorry.
No, there's something interesting about that I've heard is that people remember their loot they got in that hour and said once they ran the activity again after rollback, they got the exact same loot.
Oh,
So
really?
it
Oh.
might be
Oh, wow.
predetermined the second you launch an activity, or like
Oh,
the
no.
next time I do Shattering Throne ever will already be determined what I get.
So Bungie is screwing me intentionally.
There is an intentional RNG screwing happening.
That's just a
Pre-
theory. I don't know if that's
No,
100%
someone's
Destined
going
to
around
screw.
We're
and
gonna
being
take this
like,
and run with it. Yep.
"No, I'm never gonna get a raid exotic in my
Here
life."
we go. New
And this
video.
is why.
Why
How long
is
was-
Bungie screwing us?
How long was Bungie, or how long was Destiny down for in total?
It was a while, like 7 hours, 8 hours, something like that.
no
7 hours.
more.
Yeah,
9.
because the patch came out, right, which would have been 9, and then
was
it didn't
9.
come back until like 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So
That's
it
not bad.
was-
I'll be honest with you.
It was a day, basically, for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Like, I'm sure there's somebody who's super pissed off about this because it impacted their life in a tremendous way. But
Typhoon Trev.
but 9 hours, to roll back something that erased everybody's loot, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good on
No,
you.
I mean, again, this had to have been a pretty serious error that happened
Oh yeah.
in the game
Yeah.
that caused a cascading effect of all these. Imagine how many materials and assets and all that were just completely screwed up, and they had to just do a
Check the
rollback.
Bungie RS. I
Right?
got it.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing they were able to grab it, squash it, get things back up within, I guess, 12 hours or whatever. So,
Cautionary tale. Don't forget to back up.
yeah. That's what they were doing. Just saying, hey,
Let's roll this back and put the old backup back in. Boot from backup.
yeah.
Do we have Time Machine running on this server?
That's what the season's all about.
Yeah, they had to realign the
There's role
timeline.
playing.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of the season and all that stuff and timeline, how did you feel about the puzzle?
I was actually moving most that week. I was there the first night for the first 19-hour puzzle, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, that was fun. And I watched and kept up with most of it. It was awesome. I just like everyone else, the reward, that's pretty much the only thing.
Mm-hmm. You liked everything up
The puzzle
until
was
the
awesome.
reward?
Yeah, I think it was pretty well done. There were people doing the spreadsheets, but they also needed the screenshots from the entire community. So everyone was involved in some way, which was awesome. It was just the fact that And it's not really their fault because some of the stuff was data mined with the voice lines or whatever. Then the sword on the grave. People just expected someone else, which isn't their fault, but at the same time, it still is a letdown.
Yeah.
It was, for sure.
It's how they handled the reveal of Bastion on the roadmap. And because if it was a completely new exotic that nobody knew anything about, then it would have been like, whoa, cool.
Well, yeah, and we're used to these secrets equaling a new thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a secret comes along and it's a thing that's on the roadmap that we were going to get anyway, it's like, oh. But considering the issue that happened, wasn't that bad that Bastion came early, seeing as we were supposed to get it this past Tuesday.
Yeah. Imagine all the people that would have been smoked if you logged in, you're like, you can't log in to get a new exotic that was on the roadmap.
Yeah, that'd been bad.
Yeah, that would have been rough. Definitely rough on that. Yeah, so kind of interesting week for Bungie in Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never want to see servers go down or people like losing gear that they've earned in a game like this, but I'm glad they fixed it so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they did good.
Yep.
There are some things to look forward to. We got some details on the Imperium Foundation in the TWAB today.
Yes, we did.
Let's go through
it. So next week, the Imperium Foundation rebuild effort begins. Saint 14 will ask all Guardians to contribute to building a beacon that will be a foundation for things to come next season.
Could you call it a lighthouse, Briar? Would you go as far to call it a lighthouse?
A lighthouse.
Are we building a lighthouse?
Very different things.
Beacon.
The Tower Obelisk will be the focal point of this event, so make sure you have it unlocked and ready to go, as it's going to have some hefty benefits to take advantage of.
Yeah.
What are those benefits?
Oh, we got some.
Keep reading.
He's like, I don't know.
Hit me with the
players
dates.
will need to come together and contribute resources towards a common goal. To participate, players can donate their fractaline using the Tower Obelisk. The event will have 7 stages, each requiring increasing amounts of fractaline to progress through. There will also be a hologram at the Tower Obelisk where you'll be able to track the community's progress in game.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Finally.
awesome.
Really cool.
We've said that for how long? Anytime an event comes up that's a community effort, we're like, man, I'd really wish we could track this. Because, if you see in game, where we need 2,000 more or something to unlock another level, you're like, okay, well, let me grind and try and do something with that. But if you can't see, you have no idea what your progress is. It doesn't encourage people to get involved.
Yeah.
Feels like you're making a bigger impact if you actually can see it
Exactly.
as it happens live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Contributing to the Imperium Foundation costs 100 polarized fractaline. Contributing generates a 25% flat progression for all time loss weapon bounties in your inventory, which is a nice little side bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Tower Obelisk will generate polarized fractaline for you each week, equivalent to its resonance power. Increase its resonance power by upgrading other obelisks. And players who donate more than 5,000 polarized fractaline before the end of the season will earn a triumph and an emblem.
The emblem looks pretty
is
sweet.
This kind of fractal looking thing, which is red, orange, and blue. Pretty nice looking.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're building the thing, a beacon, and we're going to see a scoreboard. I like that. They said it was a continuation of the Mars community event. So it's like, not a continuation directly, but a continuation in the spirit of that. So they've been building that further with this to see how it goes with the community, and I think the community is going to smoke past all these goals.
Yeah. Especially if we can see it.
Exactly. Yep. An in-game representation is going to fuel that fire big time.
It's going to be big, and this is leading into the next season.
Just like they did last season.
Yeah, they said that's what they want to do. We are building a beacon of light. I won't call it a lighthouse. A beacon.
Oh, no, you would never call it a lighthouse. That would be silly.
Is it time to talk about that stuff?
It feels like it's time.
All right. So for everybody listening, our audio listeners, if you are wanting to be completely have complete virgin ears, then you're going to want to turn off the audio for at least like 10 minutes or something, because we're going to talk about a leak.
Hard cap on spoiler talk. So if you don't want to hear any more, Just skip ahead 10 minutes and we'll be done talking about it.
All right, let me get my phone ready for a little timer so we can talk about it. Where is my clock? There it is. Okay, it's begun. All right, 10 minutes.
Okay,
All right.
10 minutes.
So there was a leak that was data mined, and Trials is essentially confirmed coming back from. This is what we're building. We're building the Lighthouse Trials or something like that, and a season of the
Worthy.
Worthy. That's what it is. Yeah, season of the Worthy.
Season of the Worthy.
Mm-hmm. So it's official.
Yeah, so they haven't announced. Of course, people are still super like, I don't know if I want to believe it because Trials has been gone for so long. But it's basically confirmed. Yeah.
It's all but been confirmed by Bungie.
And it makes sense, right? We had the content creators going out to find out about the next season, which Crafty and Buttwipe and Lupo, like, hello, of course. And then all of this stuff about building a beacon of light. Suspicious. So there's a lot of things that kind of pointed us in that direction. And then seeing that there's a data mine about Trials being back, you can pretty much guarantee that Trials is coming.
How much detail is in this? Do we know it's going to be a 3v3 elimination based mode? Do we know like the trimmings around it? Or do we just know this?
Elimination is in the Crucible Labs or whatever it's called right now, so pretty sure that is the beta for Trials, so should be exact same rule sets and everything that's going on in there.
So if you want to preview Trials, you can go play Elimination right now. How that's going to feel. Do you think...
was any of that stuff in the leak?
No, I don't think so. I
No.
think...
No, so the leak was just about the name Worthy? Is that all that was in the leak?
No, it was... I think it was voice lines, right?
Oh, okay.
Talking about
yes.
Trials and all that. I believe.
Yes.
I believe that's what it was, yeah.
Okay, so we still don't know. Like, what I'm most worried about is we had Trials of Osiris, which was great and wonderful, and then we got Trials of the Nine, which not as good.
Turd sandwich.
Yeah. So because they call something Trials of Osiris, is it going to be as good as Trials of Osiris? Right? Is it going to be like that's my concern?
That's the biggest thing. I have a big concern about that as well, because there's a lot of, even though the sandbox right now as a whole has a lot of good things going for it, there's some very big outliers, and there's also matchmaking problems, and there's connection issues that really plague the game's PvP right now. And
there's hacking issues.
There's hacking, DDoSing, outliers in the sandbox, and matchmaking. Like, that just sums up all of the issues that once you get past the honeymoon experience of Destiny's PvP, then you see that stuff and you're like, oh god.
My assumption is that once Trials of Osiris comes back, is the hacking situation is just going to, like, there's going to be a bright light shine right on it.
Yeah.
Because more people are going to be incentivized to do it, and more people are going to be pissed off about people getting it done to them.
Yeah. I mean, the paid carry / recovs was huge for Trials.
Yep.
There's no reason why that's just going to like suddenly taper off.
$10 season pass, whatever it might require, will not stop them, at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we should mention that. Yeah, I most likely, this is not confirmed, but most likely you're going to have the season pass to be able to access Trials, because it would be something seasonal, which would at least help to mitigate some of the free-to-play hacking that has been going on in PvP on PC.
Because there's no way to stop people who get into New Light, start a new account in New Light in a free-to-play game, and then can just go buck wild on Bungie servers as far as hacking, DDoSing, stealing information. The problem is with Destiny is that your IP address is just laid bare on the internet for anybody who connects to you in a lobby to see.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's not acceptable in 2019 because people are bad actors.
Yeah.
So it's concerning that if Trials is coming back and we still have this situation where our IP addresses are just laid bare, like that, then it really falls on us to go and get a VPN to protect our identities or our families.
Yeah.
From bad actors.
I personally feel like the reason Bungie took so long to bring back Trials was because they were trying to find a way to prevent some of these problems. Because in terms of, creating loot for a trials like game mode and bringing back elimination. Like they already have the game mode made, right? Because they had elimination before. So they don't need to think of a brand new game mode. They just have to mostly do the loot and see how they want to do. Like, do they want to bring back the trials bounties? What do they want flawless to be the chase for? So considering how long this was gone for a long ass time,
But
it's been gone for a long time.
Do you think they really are going to be able to fix people manipulating network connections?
Yes.
I don't think so. Watts, I don't think so at all.
Why wouldn't they be able to use Steam servers?
Do you think they're
They
going
just
to
have to-
dedicated servers?
I don't think that means dedicated servers.
Yeah, but in order
there's
to
ways
the game,
to use Steam's infrastructure and back end without having dedicated servers.
I mean, if we're not connecting to the players directly via peer-to-peer, then it has to have a middle server that handles the information to prevent people from manipulating the network. It
doesn't have to be. There's encoding that Steam can do. So you could go through the encoding via Steam's network. So that it's basically like having a Steam VPN almost. Without you having to run it.
So it means that they just have to go through Steam servers, which is like a pseudo dedicated server.
Yeah, it's like what Overlord said in chat right now. He said Steam has a new matchmaking API that anonymizes IPs and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I feel like one of the bigger reasons why they went to Steam over something like Epic, which I'm sure probably was going to give them more money, as we know Epic has been doing, is because this was something that was announced like right before they switched to Steam.
So here's the problem. Like 60% of the population is on console. That doesn't have access to Steam.
Yeah.
So you still have
Yes.
network manipulation.
Yeah. That would be where I'm not sure how they're going to deal with that.
Like I would love to live in a world where they are totally fixing this stuff and we're going to have trials come out and all these all these problems that are related outside of the actual sandbox are fixed. But I just don't see it happening. You know, like as a Destiny player and seeing what they've done in the past, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of problems for it still. They're going to hit bans on people that are aggressive with that, but it's still going to happen.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think so I've been trying to keep an eye on what the security team has been saying and keeping track of that stuff because I really do feel like my gut is telling me the reason that they took so long is because they were trying to find a way to deal with these sort of problems before bringing something like that back. And we know that they're having like a better automated system. They're having an appeals thing. So maybe the fact that they're actually bringing in an appeals system makes me feel like maybe they'll be a bit more liberal with banning people. Because in the past, it's been like this since Halo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bungie is very much like, we don't want to ban people. We want to be like the cool your friend developer. We don't want to ban everyone.
Yeah.
But if they're setting up all these systems to where you can appeal, maybe they're going to be a lot more liberal with it. And they'll just, if you have any suspicious stuff at all, they'll ban you. And then
I
you
hope
can
so.
appeal to have someone look through it.
I think it would make the environment of PvP and Destiny just across the board better if they were aggressive.
They have to do something.
They have to, exactly. But if they do have some sort of technology that is going to fix some of this, then awesome. My hat's off to them. I cannot wait to play PvP. But I'm definitely not going to hold my breath thinking that this stuff is going to get fixed until they've legit gone to dedicated servers, because it's such a widespread problem, and PC really highlights it. And if the loot is interesting in Trials, then this is going to become a very, very big problem. If the loot's like Trials of the Nine, then it's going to blow over in 2 weeks and people are going to be like, whatever, I'm not really...
And then the only people left playing will be the cheaters and the DDoSers.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's especially, I think there's a lot riding on Bungie fixing stuff, because if this is going to be like, I don't know if they're going to have a PvE activity. I would assume that they would have to, but this is such a huge part of the next season. And seasons, as we know, have been very focused on one thing. So if they have a heavy focus for a whole season on Trials, and we get in there and people are watching it on Twitch and it's just cheaters and people getting kicked offline and all that sort of stuff, it's going to go downhill.
All right, we're coming up on 10 minutes.
Do you think this is last chance for Destiny PvP?
No. I don't
Not
think so.
last chance, but my God, do they need to do something? Because it's gotten incredibly bad. Very, very, very bad.
Yeah. I think people will always be interested in playing Destiny's PvP because there is nothing out there that truly competes with the way Destiny feels in the PvP market. There could be a game that comes out that does that, though. Like that's definitely possible. But I always think there's going to be interest in Destiny's PvP. It has been 10 minutes, so we're not going to talk about the thing.
I'm going to keep talking about it.
I do want to just say that the thing that is possibly coming in the next season, do you think it's permanent? Or do you think it's seasonal?
Oh my
Better
God.
be.
Oh, okay.
I
I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
I mean, if it's
Oh,
seasonal
no.
and things have been leaving for the season.
It has to be. It has to
It
be.
better be.
It doesn't
It
take
has
as
Good,
much
it better be.
space as like a PvE activity.
You're absolutely right.
True.
Yes.
Correct.
But what if you had to be there, man? You had to be there.
Not only do you gotta be, you gotta be there as well. Man, that's a big ask. That's some super special sauce right there.
They're like, we're just trying out this thing this season. Good to see if you guys really like this or not.
I think this season pass idea is kind of it's not sitting well with players in general. Like when I go on the Destiny Reddit, which I know I shouldn't do because it's
You're just looking for a dose of depression?
I think so. Like I'm
Fire's
in a
trying to
good
pick his
mood and I
next
don't like that, so I just want to go and just.
Yeah, you got like a kick in your step today. Time to look at Destiny Reddit. Oh, Jesus.
That's
There's so
rule
many
number one.
people who don't like this seasonal drip feed style of content, and like the thing I keep reading is this FOMO kind of style of content. It's like the only reason you're logging on is because you don't want to miss it, right? You're not logging on because you're excited about a big content drop. You're just logging on because there's 2 hours of new stuff here. I don't want to miss it because it'll be gone. Like I can't just save it all up and do like a big, weekend gaming session of Destiny because some of it's just going to be gone and I'll miss it.
Yeah.
I think people are kind of getting a little pissed off about that.
There's a lot of people complaining about that type of stuff, and I understand, but I think like I always come back to the Taken King drought, and I'm like, would you rather have nothing to do? Would you rather be looking forward to Iron Banner in the next 4 weeks?
In a way, yes, because the way I like to play Destiny, or the way I like to play games in general, is that I like to deep dive. I like to just be absorbed into a game to the exclusion of everything else for, a day or a couple of days or a week or a month. And Destiny doesn't really provide that for me anymore. Destiny now is kind of like something that I log into on Tuesday, see what's new. If it's interesting to me or the reward is good enough, I'll go ahead and do it. If not, I just move on and I don't do it. And that's not the Destiny I fell in love with. The Destiny I fell in love with was the Taken King. And yes, the downside was these huge droughts, but for a month I was completely involved in the Taken King. Mm-hmm. Everything about my life was about the Taken King. I wanted it all.
Nick,
I think this is I think this is where the problem happened though, right? Is a lot of the feedback that was given after that drought was, we don't want Destiny to be this game that we play for a bit and then we go play another game. We want this to be a game we're addicted to, that we're in there like coming back all the time. And Bungie was actually leaning more towards that archetype of the game of it's okay for people to step away. But then they got so much feedback that it's like, we don't want to step away. We want you to keep us addicted and playing all the time. So they were like, okay. And I think this is their response to that feedback.
Yeah, the content, I mean, they can only make so much content, right? Like in a year's time, they can only make so much content. So it's about how do you provide that content, or how do you release that content? And the way they're doing it now is kind of this drip feed, like over a weekly basis, as opposed to huge motherload content drops, the big DLCs.
So Nick,
I gotta say,
I'm curious.
I prefer the old DLCs.
I'm curious your thoughts on that, Ehroar. Like, how do you feel about the season pass model versus what you had in D1, or even with the expansions in the first year of Destiny 2? What's your thoughts on that?
So I think I'm actually probably one of the rare people that thinks drip feed is okay. My issue right now is the FOMO of things going away. Because for like what I do, where I make build videos or I talk about a weapon or whatever, in the future, if I talk about that weapon again, let's say Perfect Paradox, well, a new player won't be able to ever get it again as of right now.
The content has an
So,
expiration.
Yeah, literally, you have to do it now, which is my issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So
mind having
that's
someone do it every week, though.
That's a unique content creator perspective, obviously. That like you want your content to last, and obviously things that have been made for D1 in year one of D1 are old and irrelevant at this point. But like, I understand that aspect. I'm actually with you as well. Like, I think the content drip has been good for the game, and you can see in the Twitch directory it's been healthy. I mean, there's no trials. PvP,
right?
For the most part, a lot of people just don't like the PvP in it right now. It gets complained about, and the directory, it seems to be healthy in comparison to when we've had just trials and Iron Banner and had these droughts of PvE non-existent content for a while. I think it's a lot healthier for where it is right now. But I do agree, things expiring and going away is definitely going to hurt the game down the road. I don't think it's hurting it right now specifically. I know some people are obviously getting upset about the fact that it's going away, but I think that backlash isn't going to happen until down the road, unless they have an answer for that, of all these things coming back with these weapons.
Yeah. I never really experienced the huge droughts in D1 because I honestly just speedran every day, whatever I was doing at the time. So that's pretty much what I did during those downtimes. So it wasn't like I really experienced the full drought like everyone else did.
Mm-hmm.
Those droughts were epic. They were like, it was a full year. You know, like,
yeah, I mean, I was there, but I was doing my own thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It was like, wow, nothing's happening in Destiny for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, but I was still playing it every day.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you do? I think what they're doing right now is the perfect balance, where they have a big DLC each September, then more drip feed seasons throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
I also think this is a question that every Destiny player is going to answer differently, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to have their own preference on how they'd like Destiny to release content based on how that person's personal schedule looks.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a little busy in March. Can you push that DLC to April? Thank you.
Trials? I mean, something.
You know what I'm saying, though? It's
tomorrow on D1.
Like, every single gamer is going to have a different preference about how you'd like the DLC to drop.
I'd like them to just utilize Menagerie more, because Menagerie is still sitting there. It's just it's sitting there. Why not add the past season stuff into Menagerie?
I've had an idea about that. As I think that should be the last season each year should have an activity like that. For example, the Sundial should have been the last season of this year before September. And you just put all the previous seasons' weapons and armors into that activity.
Yeah.
Oh,
it makes perfect sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If they have an answer for that, that is a summertime activity that stays and is permanent, that would be great.
Just once a year, and it has all the previous season stuff.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Yeah.
So if the rumor we hear is true, then I think we can probably not expect a raid this spring, which would mean the next time we would hope for a raid would be summer DLC.
And then it's like, is it then too close to September?
Mm-hmm. One big one in September, or two small ones.
Yeah, I feel like March is the perfect time for a raid, so they can give it 6 months in between. But if something else is coming, seems like that's going to be the focus.
It'd go well, I feel like, with the other stuff that's rumored, because half of the community, or the PvP part of the community, be happy, and the PvE part of the community be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play both, you're double happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at least the new dungeon, right? So something to sink your teeth into.
What do you think the time investment by Bungie is? Do you think it's a big difference between a raid and a dungeon?
Yeah, probably. The mechanics in a dungeon are very basic.
Yeah.
The raid, you have to really think outside the box, which I've seen. I think what they do is they have a bunch of puzzle type encounters already pre-made. And then they take those ideas and put it into different raids. So they have like a big spreadsheet board or whatever you want to call it with all these different ideas, and they just pull from it.
Yeah.
The
Like a
raids.
master puzzle, and then split off pieces of it to make
Just
it.
jot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like half the time to do a dungeon than it is to do a raid, or a quarter of the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Probably finding the answer to that wouldn't mean anything anyway, but curious.
Yeah.
I would love for them to do another dungeon. I think dungeon content is epic. Although I would like them to bring that type of content more towards the 980 Nightfall Ordeal type of difficulty. Because right now that's it in the game for that type of difficulty. And I'd love to see that more adopted into other parts. Not being the only level of difficulty, but
Right.
like you do the dungeon, like that was cool. And then, oh, now we've unlocked the 980 version. The Ordeal version of the dungeon that gives you the Senate shards and all that. That'd be awesome.
Pinnacles on every encounter, not just the last, or
Yeah, right?
something like that.
That would be great.
Yeah, and also more champions or whatever they want to do in that particular situation. Just I really like the amping of the difficulty. And it makes me sad that the 980 is the only one that has that.
Yeah. Yeah, Nightfalls are in a great spot right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah,
really is.
Nightfalls are fantastic.
Yeah.
Was there anything else in the TWAB? There's a giveaway. on budgetstore.com.
There just was the thing about Twitch Prime. So
Oh,
Twitch
right.
Prime is working with Destiny to bring
Another
some
first.
basically some old stuff.
Have you heard about Twitch Prime?
Have you heard about
Oh,
Prime? You
do
can
you
sub for
have
free
Amazon
and
Prime?
get some exotic.
Yeah,
That's my favorite game to play.
this is a first, right? They're integrating stuff with Twitch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is obviously clearly highly targeted towards getting people into the game. You know, you see it on Twitch and you're like, oh, there's this free stuff for Destiny. Oh, Destiny's free. Might as well log in and get it. So they're trying to bring more people into the game to try it out.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
guys
great.
think? What do you guys think about it?
I think you're exactly right. This is aimed at players who have not played Destiny, just to try and attract a bigger audience. And I think that's a great idea. That's good for everybody. Obviously, none of these rewards that are shown in this image are going to attract players who've been playing for years, because you probably already got them. But having a bigger player base makes the game better. Like, that's just
It does.
that's math.
Math.
Simple.
Quick
How do you feel
maths,
about
man.
an actual weapon being part of the loot drop?
Like
Right,
a new
so-
one?
Saros
Suro.
Regime is technically
Saros
part of
is-
that loot drop.
Oh, just in general.
yeah,
I
and
think it's
the
fine.
and the skin for
It's
it.
an exotic weapon. I think it's fine.
I have mixed feelings, honestly. Like,
Why?
because that's what exotics are in Destiny. Giveaways. Yeah. In
Isn't that
D1,
sad?
they were coveted. They're like, damn, I got to get those strange coins because I need to make sure I can buy whatever from Xur because this is game-changing loot. And now it's like, do you have Twitch Prime? Take your freaking exotic. Get out of here.
I don't know. I think
Hmm.
I think the Eververse has. I guess the one thing on here that's a gun, I guess that's right. But the Eververse has kind of made cosmetic stuff so meaningless to me that, like, it shows 4 exotics on here, but only one of them is an actual useful item. The rest of them are cosmetic items. And when I see gold, or gold emblems pop up or gold engrams pop up, it doesn't really excite me anymore.
Or any engram.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's
After-
very sad.
After a certain point, all engrams just kind of become like, well, I'm dealing with this loot now.
Don't even look at them.
Yeah.
Destiny's got a loot problem, and maybe what you're pointing at there, Tefty, is a indication of it.
Yeah, it's a bigger problem for sure. It's not like they can just solve the exotic problem, and because they want to give people enticing loot, but when you lower that barrier, the loot also becomes less enticing. Just
Exactly.
automatically.
It's like with the Twitch Prime loot thing, it's like if you were browsing Twitch and you saw, oh, I got a ship in this Destiny game, would you log into Destiny to pick up your ship? Maybe not. But if you see that there's a weapon that you're getting, you're like, oh, it's an exotic weapon. Oh, that sounds fancy. Maybe you log in to try it out. So I understand it. I feel a little weird. Just feel a little weird about it. I just feel.
I don't have a problem with it. You know why?
Yeah.
Because like you get to start up Destiny and you get like a really cool gun to start out with, and I think that's cool. You're not getting all the exotics.
Totally.
You're getting an exotic auto rifle, and it's kind of an iconic one from Destiny 1. It's not a new one from Destiny 2. I don't know.
mean,
I think it's actually a good idea and a pretty smart idea to kind of start you off with something cool.
Yeah.
As long as it's not something that, like a raid exotic or someone that took a quest or something. I mean, there's a chance that Xur you're playing would sell the Suros anyways. I mean,
yeah.
If it's an old exotic, I don't really see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it at all.
Yeah. Now I just want to clarify. I agree with you guys on that. I think it's good. It's going to bring in a lot of players and all that. But it does.
No, Tefty, you hate this.
It underscores the loot problem that exists in Destiny right now. So I just
Tefty is having a huge problem with this. He is outraged.
I can tell.
Unbelievable, Bungie. I cannot even stand this. Giving away exotics.
He's gonna narc on all of us. He's very upset.
This is interesting to me that they decided to do a Twitch Prime thing with Twitch and Destiny now.
Yeah.
I had a theory about a game mode returning. Theory. Non-confirmed. And what if this is them kind of working towards being with Twitch more in regards to trials? Like a Twitch Rivals trials, or
That'd be
an
sick.
unimaginable amount of things they could do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trials was huge on Twitch.
Trials was huge
Yeah.
for Twitch. And I'm pretty sure like Bungie is thinking of this as the big thing to kind of push their game into the spotlight on Twitch. Because it's been pretty healthy and consistent, but with Trials in it, it will just
Trial's going to bring a surge for sure.
It's been consistent. Like it's definitely not been the top performer on Twitch that it used to be.
No.
Right?
Except during spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Destiny used to
Spreadsheets change
be
things.
pretty consistently in the top 10 games on Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's not that game anymore.
Yeah. And that was Trials. Trials was doing that. It brought in a huge influx of people over the weekends.
Yeah. Trials was a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Like it gave regular players like me a chance to feel like a competitive, FPS person.
Yeah.
And that is it's outstanding, and it's like no other game has really done it since.
Mm-hmm.
They did really nail that feeling of, you can be a terrible PvP player, but you can hop in there and kind of feel like you're playing in a tournament. And where else would you get that feeling in a competitive environment?
Right. With stakes too.
Temtem.
Yeah.
Temtem. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope Trials come back, and I hope it's good because it is something that I'm really missing from Destiny. That would definitely motivate me to really like build a PvP build again, which I have not done.
Gotta get on it,
time.
brother.
Yeah, I guess so.
Should join the dark side of the Telesto.
Telesto.
He means Aerentil.
I'm an Airtel.
I have
Legit, I'm an Aerentil.
I actually have 2 really good Aerentil.
So this is what we're gonna do. Friday, me, Briar, Tefty. You
Let's do
guys
it.
bring your Aerentils. I'll be
Okay.
there.
I can't do Friday.
I'll hang out.
This Friday. This
It's
one
a little
Friday
bashing.
I can't do. Oh wait, it's not. Yeah, I get what I hear what you're saying.
I'll just stand in the back while you guys use your Aerentil. It'll be great.
I don't think that's actually how it would go down. But thanks for saying that. That was a very nice thing to say.
Oh, I was going to say also with the Twitch Prime stuff, I think it's really smart because it brings people in and gets them interested. What I'd love to see Bungie do is take a cue from Warframe and have people be able to get things from community members in the game, like emblems and stuff. Like you could join Error's community and get an emblem from Error for being a part of Twitch chat or something like that. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, imagine if there was like a Destiny Reddit or a Raid Secrets emblem for the Reddit that you could get for being a part of that and represent that in the game. So Warframe kind of has things like that, and it's a nice integration into the community side of things. I'd love to see them start doing that.
Something they did if you streamed Destiny for like 10 hours or something, you got something?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an emblem for that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I actually forgot about that. So they have done something, a little bit, a very light version of that.
There were lots of TTV gamers with that emblem.
Yep.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, if you think about it, it was actually like a brilliant move because it introduced people to Twitch to get the emblem, but it also like introduced like, hey, like I kind of like streaming. Like this is kind of a neat thing that I would have never done if I didn't try this emblem. I wonder if there's anybody who we've never run into one, right? Somebody who started streaming for that event.
It's tough to
not
rack.
off the top of my head.
Yeah, tough to rack the brain on details
I
on
wonder
that.
if there is anybody. It'd be.
I would love to see that though. Like some type of integration would be amazing. Learn in chat says that Siege has charms where if you sub to the streamers, you can get their charm in game.
That's cool.
That's super cool. I would love to
Yeah.
see Bungie do like partnership stuff because that's the way that games are heading, right? In partnership with content creators. So
Well, it makes you feel connected to the communities that you're involved with this stuff. And then somebody who is unaware would be like, hey, where'd you get that? And be like, oh, if you're a part of this person's community, then you get that emblem or shader, or not a shader. Shader would be way too much, but like emblem makes sense because it's like it's a graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Let's do it. Was there anything else? Oh, Hardlight got changed.
Hardlight.
Hardlight's good, man.
People are in love with Hardlight.
Yeah, they are. They really
I
are.
just felt like saying fuck Hardlight.
Well, Hardlight's kind of been Hardlight. Yeah.
What are the changes to Hardlight?
It has no recoil.
Really? It's a laser beam now.
Also on controller, it's also a laser beam.
Yeah.
Really? So
Yes.
good on controller and mouse and keyboard.
Which is not how it was even in D1. I remember trying to shoot that thing across the map and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Never mind.
They fixed it several times in D1 and it never really became great. So is it great now or is it just now you can use it?
People are pretty excited.
Now you can use it. I would say now you can use it.
Yeah.
You're probably
still
correct.
like, get killed by spare rations every time.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
And the other problem when it comes to like say a 980 Nightfall is that you can't slot a perk in there to take care of anti-barrier or unstoppable or anything like that, which is a huge problem when it comes to these exotics.
It's a huge problem with exotics.
Yeah, it is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Not just the champion stuff, just a mod in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why can't I put backup mag? Why can't I put major spec?
Yeah. I mean, I can see them just graying out certain ones that are not going to be compatible with exotics in case they want to make sure nothing breaks in the
Like
system.
backup mag on Whisper.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
having the stuff to deal with champions, I think, is a necessity. Otherwise, people are they're just not going to use them. You can make them as cool as you want, but people just can't take them for.
yeah, Hardlight is a perfect example of like, oh, you can switch the elements. So this is great. I'll use my exotic slot for this. And you go, wait, I can't overload or anti-barrier or unstoppable any enemy with this. Well, back to my legendary.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, Twitter questions. Clan Redeem says, all right, this is a rapid fire question, all in one question. So you have to be on your toes for this, Error.
Right.
Why does Shanks not drop either subs? Favorite non-world's first Destiny memory, and please also tell the story about HM recruiting you for the hidden machine.
All right, first one's because they haven't fallen. It's a really old joke. It's really bad. I won't explain it.
They haven't fallen. Oh my God.
Yeah. Then number 2 was doing Nightfall speedruns in House of Wolves. That's the first time I met a lot of my buddies, Redeem and all that stuff. And the third one, what was the third one again?
Please also tell the story about HM recruiting you for hidden machine.
So I started at the beginning of the show explaining this a bit, where Tanix was the Nightfall that week with Arc Specialist, and I was speedrunning it solo. I beat the fire team time, which was their time, and they noticed it and instantly invited me because I beat their 3-man time by myself. So
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I'd also be like, who's
right
this
away.
guy?
Yeah, did you tell them to get
yeah,
good?
that's pretty much what they are. Yeah. Yep.
Good.
I still play with one of them, so yep, every day.
Thank God.
The Dawn Zero, what is your prep time and mental state before doing a raid? Do you take a day off or raid a bunch or eat a bunch of sugar?
So I'm assuming he's referring to world's first rating, I would assume.
I would assume, yeah.
Oh, there's no time off because usually we're grinding for light level or whatever. But definitely first first hour before or whatever, just chill, listen to music, just try to not think about it, because it is a lot of pressure. For us, because we're almost expected to do well, because we've had all that success in the past, right?
Yeah.
So it is a lot of nerves. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same for us.
You guys are letting me get one. I believe in it.
We get on and we're like, we spend half an hour
just mess
looking at the
around.
environment.
Yeah.
We talk about where to put a
half an
tether.
hour talking, and then somebody says, "Hey, I think the raid is open."
No, completely different experience.
It is a little different.
A little bit.
I like dietary stuff. Do you eat a lot of sugar the raid day, or do you eat a lot of what do you do?
Just water.
Water.
Yeah, anything above that, like caffeine, just get jitters after a while.
Yeah.
Just water.
Would you consider
catheter?
yourself catheter?
What?
Catheter?
Oh, I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Oh, it's when you stick a tube. Never mind.
Okay. It's probably better to leave it out.
Lord Navarone says, do you think the situation that happened this week is related to the file size of Destiny 2? There's so much more content than Destiny 1, and it's creating conflicts in data that are unforeseen by the developers when pushing new updates.
I feel like no.
I feel like no, but I don't. I also feel like I have no idea.
Just because your file size is big, it doesn't mean that
it poops out lore. It's like, listen, if we're gonna add this little hotfix, we're gonna have to get rid of the lore, so it pushes it out of there.
You could say, since it's a big game, there's more to double check.
Sure.
So
yeah,
maybe that, but not.
But
the rest.
Like bugs happen. Like coding mistakes happen, whether or not you have 1,000 lines or 1,000,000 lines of code. Like it can happen no matter what. And they have been putting out this stuff a lot more aggressively in comparison to the past updates. So I have a feeling that their time to double check this stuff, that's actually what's been sacrificed. Right?
Don't we know somebody in testing?
Somebody who likes crawdads or something?
I feel like the blame should rest on their shoulders.
Why didn't that
person?
Why didn't
that person? Somebody who worked in testing and maybe should have figured this out.
Why didn't that Guardian notice their glimmer disappearing?
It's a mystery for the ages, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Dave Bueller says, question for everyone. What are you absolutely not cut out for?
It's just about everything.
Let's see. I wouldn't be cut out for going to space. If somebody was like, hey, I have a ticket to go onto this NASA rocket to go up.
You wouldn't go?
That'd be awesome.
You have to be physically conditioned for that stuff, man.
Yeah.
But you don't think you could like
you could get ready?
Given the lead time,
you'd get the best.
Think that you'd be into it?
Oh, I have a lead time? Of course. I'm talking about somebody shows up at my door and says, do you want to ride this rocket into outer space?
I got it. My wife got sick. I have a spare ticket. Do you want to come on the spaceship?
You're going to be in outer space for 3 months. Okay. So there's that as well.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there.
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
I've seen Dr. Stone. I know how this goes.
You've seen what?
Dr. Stone.
Is that anime?
Yes. I'd be really bad. You know those fishermen that do very high risk stuff where they go fishing for like 4 months or something and then they're off for the rest of the year? That would not be
Deadliest Catch?
Yeah.
I could not be on Deadliest Catch. I'm
not a big fan of discomfort, really.
Or being in the middle of the ocean where things can go awfully terribly wrong and you're just there in the ocean.
I'm with you on that. I would be actually more inclined to be like, yo, let's go on that trip instead of going to outer space. But I definitely would not be physically ready for that right now. If somebody was
You'd
like,
rather go to Alaska and be on the Deadliest Catch than go to space?
Yeah, man. I bet floating in space is going to be boring. It's going to be amazing to see Earth.
Boring?
Yeah.
Boring.
After one day, you're going to be like, damn, I'm weightless.
You could look out. You just have to look out the window. Just be like, oh my God.
Do you understand how slow the internet would be? You cannot play multiplayer games up there.
No, you'd be awesome at it. You'd have unbelievable success rate. Your KD would be like 1 million. Like this thing, I can't kill this guy.
Listen.
This hefty asshole. What's he getting his internet connection from Mars? Yeah.
Listen, 3 months doing some super dangerous fishing is going to have a lifetime of stories behind that.
Oh yeah, going to space, no stories.
You're going to be like, you went to space. Be like, this one time I pooped and a particle was floating. Be one of the stories.
Probably. Yeah. Probably.
There'd be stories.
A little particulate.
When I was young and fresh out of college, I had a job at an insurance company in Connecticut. Everybody gets a job in insurance, right? It's like the insurance capital of the world, or it was. I got a job at an insurance company. I had the typical boss who didn't give a fuck. He was just, just doing his 9 to 5, kind of a moron. And I, within 6 months, realized that I don't think I could do this for the rest of my life. Like, I was staring out right down the gun barrel of like, this is your life for the next 40 years. And I literally freaked out. Like I could not, I could not picture my life.
Was it one of those moments where you think about something and you actually feel panic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was like 6 months into the job. I'm like, there's gotta be another way. There's gotta be another way. Like I cannot do this. So that's what I've been doing ever since, is finding another way. Every one of my friends works there in insurance companies. Like every one of my friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pushing that paper.
Yeah. There's a lot of paper to be pushed. There's a lot of money in insurance.
I say mine is, it's weird. My biggest fear is public speech, but that's pretty much what I do now. So it's
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So you're like, yeah, so I'm living my nightmare.
Is it different that you're looking at a camera and a microphone as opposed to like looking at people?
Yeah, it's not as hard, and I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Like when I started, it was way worse, but yeah,
it's definitely
that
a
was
skill
definitely my
that you
thing.
can build up.
For sure.
I still get butterflies every time I hit live on the stream.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Ian or Eon? I think it's
Eon.
EON, so it's gotta be Eon. Do you like the light level system, and do you think D1 year 1 was better?
That's a hard question.
I like the light level system.
Yeah, I think it's fine right now for the most part.
I don't think that they
I
give
think
us
it's
enough
better.
room to breathe, room to grow, though, in the season pass. 10 levels isn't enough.
Yeah, it's like, why even give us the 10?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
The number chase for me has like completely evaporated. I really don't care if I hit the max level.
I don't mean I've done like 1 week of pinnacles this season because it's just gonna be the soft cap next season. So
yeah, exactly.
What I mean by that is gonna be the regular powerfuls.
Yep.
So,
and the artifact already takes care of that if you do enough XP in that, so it doesn't even really matter.
Yeah.
If you hit 970. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I think your D1 year 1 was better though? No.
No.
Do you?
Like,
Oh yeah, no.
You had to get so lucky to get exactly the drop you needed. And
RNG
then
is brutal.
3 months later, you had the same thing. Like you had to just get incredibly lucky.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp says, with the recent data mining stuff going on, no spoilers here. What are your thoughts on data mining? Do you like or dislike spoilers? What do you guys think about data mining in general?
I dislike spoilers for sure, and it's annoying data mining exists, but they're, you're not going to suddenly change computer architecture.
Yeah, right.
So the most recent data mining I didn't care about too much because I've had this theory for like 3-4 months at this point. But I don't like going really in depth with seeing voice lines and stuff that I'd hear in a mission. Like I want to hear that in game from the voice actors because they've been doing like a really good job with the storytelling recently. Like the Saint 14 missions were really cool, and all the different banter between the characters has been really cool. But yeah, I don't want to find out that there's like X amount of exotics coming. I don't want to know any kind of voice lines or stuff like that. So for the most part, I'm not a huge fan because I will always say I think Destiny is at its best when it's a mystery. and
I
the
agree with
community
Rox,
finds it.
100%.
Yeah.
I usually end up seeing them. I don't go on my way to see it though. It just kind of shows up.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with people data mining. Like if I choose not to look at it, I can avoid it. I do have a problem with YouTubers in particular putting data mined stuff as their thumbnail or as their title.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like that is an instant unsub because like what are you
that's
doing?
the thing, right? If you want to go fully in depth with the stuff that's been data mined, then great, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But you need to let people know that there's a spoiler happening.
Yeah.
Because
The
people should
thumbnail
also
of
be
that
allowed
type
not
of
to
that
see it.
thing should say spoilers on it, but have
Yeah.
no images of what the spoiler is.
Yes.
And same with the title.
Yes. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. So
DMG04 says, how much joy does it bring you to your heart when you find ridiculous ways to break Destiny 2? Another way to frame the question is, do you enjoy making me cry?
no. No. So I do enjoy finding broken builds or really cool builds or all that good stuff. And like we talked about earlier, I guess I'm the person people come to with some of those broken things. So I enjoy the process. I don't like making them cry. But I do, that is kind of what I do. Making really good builds and stuff like that. Just
Making
taking
DMG cry is what you do.
Yeah,
That's
I
your
guess
job
so.
description.
I don't like that part.
Don't mind.
It's
Speaking
all right.
of making him
It's
cry,
all
should
right.
we like get talking about another Crucible Showdown? Now that PvP mode might be coming out.
Yeah.
Well, it is technically unconfirmed, so might be a tad early.
Doughboy says, were the content droughts in Destiny 1 actually a good thing? No.
No.
No,
I wouldn't think at any point. I don't know why it would be a good thing.
man.
It's not good for the company because people are leaving their game. It's not good for the players because they're not playing.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay says, what is your favorite Destiny 2 raid encounter and why?
Leviathan dogs. It's the most unique encounter they've ever made.
It is really unique.
It's just like so much different than everything else we've ever done.
That's a good point.
That's pretty much it.
I think for me, probably the vault encounter in Last Wish, because just the way that whole encounter is framed is so cool with the music, the music starts to kick up as you get closer to finishing it. And that song is probably one of my favorite pieces of music in Destiny. So it's Vault is really cool.
Say the question one more time. Prior, I forgot to.
What's your favorite Destiny 2 raid encounter?
Okay.
Mine might be the Eater of Worlds boss fight. Like I really enjoy that. I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoy it every time I do it. It's just so many moving parts. And I like.
Prior?
What's that?
Has it been 2 more times? 1 more time? How many times have you done the boss fight?
I don't know. To be honest with you, less than 10, I'm sure.
Total of 2. Those 2 times were great.
They're great.
It is a good encounter, though. It is.
I'm gonna have to go with the Titanfall boss fight. That was just fantastic. When the first time seeing that guy drop.
The first time was amazing.
Yep.
And you're running around a lot, which is nice. Everyone's kind of all over the place.
There was a map, and you could call out things happening on the map. I really like that.
Yeah,
that
was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good raid.
That having like a giant fucking mech, that was different. That
cool.
Was totally cool.
And the little thing pop out of the belly for shooting.
Yeah, I remember our first time through there, like when you had to like do the stuff underground to like unlock that and bring the tanks out and like blow away the shielding, and like you knew that thing was getting up and we were fighting it.
Yeah,
and it was just like this, like I can't wait to see what it looks like feeling.
Yeah.
TPAT 123 says, who do y'all think would win a 1v1 Crucible? match? Saint 14 or Shax?
Between the two of them?
Yeah. 1v1.
What kind of Titan
Snipers
is
don't-
Shax? Do we know? Because we know Saint 14 obviously uses a bubble. It's a bubble
Yeah, it's
Titan.
not gonna help too much.
He could be using
What is
suppression
Shax?
nades. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be Shax, right? He watches us play every day. He's got to pick up on something, right?
True,
Yeah.
but
That's
Saint
true.
14 is a scrapper.
They're both scrappers.
Saint 14 died.
True. Shax is still alive.
Oh, and we saved him.
This is true.
Yeah. I think it's Shax.
It's definitely Shax.
Shax for the win. Doughboy says, are the seasons too short?
Definitely not.
I wouldn't think so.
I think they're fine.
Yeah.
You get like first 2 months of nonstop, something coming out every week. Maybe the third month slows down a bit, but I mean, you can only make so much content, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Blue 04 says, can we talk about Bungie QA? It seems like since Activision split, there has been more issues that should not be happening. Example, not being able to interact with the EDZ obelisk or currency being removed with a new patch. So they need to slow down and be more diligent. I completely disagree with this. Like I think Watts is right. There has been surprisingly few of these incidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as big as currency being removed.
Yeah. There's been little stuff, but I wouldn't expect them to necessarily pick up on it. Like the really little stuff.
Yeah.
Also, if we're including bolts in Q&A, though, then I completely agree with this.
We can blame Holtz for sure.
We can blame Holtz.
Throw him underneath the bus. There's also way more updates that have happened with them not being a part of Activision.
Yeah.
So like the frequency is just way higher, greater frequency of stuff being released.
Derek Stanley says, "What's your favorite bugged or broken loadout?"
The Titan Hammers with the I don't know if you guys saw that week before they got disabled, but you could pretty much 3-shot every raid boss with Worm God Crest.
Really?
That's right.
Syntheseps.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's amazing.
It's pretty great. Just the little bonk hammer, just destroying everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, the little melee one?
Yep.
Oh,
Doing
nice.
like 12 million damage per throw.
That's great. JK says, do you think the next gen consoles will have native mouse and keyboard support? I really hope they do and can see Sony cashing in on branded mouse and keyboard package. The current gen consoles actually support mouse and keyboard. Both of them do.
Yeah.
But it's up to the game to support the mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
Yes.
Which
I think Destiny would, if you're thinking about that. I think they would.
If they're running
Think so?
high frame rates, then yeah, I would assume that they'd want to have that as an option. Especially if the game is already on PC, then it's like, well, they already have those input devices mapped out and figured out how it responds in the game. There's no reason for them not to support that if the viewing experience is good.
That'd be awesome. Tanner M says, "Hey, when we gonna see any of the Redeem guys teach some speedrunning strats to the DCP team?"
Whenever. I know Glad would be more than happy to probably teach you guys and take you guys through whatever you wanted.
Man.
Nice.
I would be happy.
World's first training.
I would be happy to enter that fire team, but I fear for Glad's sanity.
Yes. I already do that anyways.
Trying to teach cats algebra. You know, like they don't care about algebra. They just want to be cats.
Exactly.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
No, you guys can
Mr.
pick up on some stuff.
Oh, we would definitely learn stuff. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't fear for us.
I would like
Glad.
for
Sanity of
Glad.
Glad.
I want Glad to give one-on-one lessons to Fran about location of tethers.
Tether placement.
Throughout
Proper
all
tethering,
raids.
yes.
We should just go ahead and enroll Fran into class. Tether 101. It's a 6-week course. It's 4 hours a week. It's not a big deal, Fran. It's a small. It's a small time commitment. This Aries says, have you had any good ideas for GCX donation incentives this year? No,
No.
we haven't.
No.
I think this is something people put together like a week before when they're like, "Oh crap, look at the time." It's
Yeah,
go
that's
time.
how we normally do it.
And that's how tattoos on various body parts end up being thrown.
Yeah,
in.
those are never a first thing. They're like last resort. Like, I guess the tattoo will work.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Nathan Hayes says, after listening to y'all decide to join the Church of Unlimited Frames, any advice for a new PC player?
Crank them frames.
Make sure you're playing on full screen and you are not V-synced. And the frames are actually saying unlimited in there. And it's also very important that your monitor also supports above 60 FPS if you're truly going for high frame rate. If you have a 144 hertz monitor, you need to go in the game, make sure it's full screen and it's actually uncapped to truly see the higher frames. Because a lot of people who are new to it don't realize that it'll default, like your monitor naturally will default to like 60 or something like that. So you have to go in and set the settings to properly take advantage of those high frames.
My biggest advice would always be just stick with mouse and keyboard. If you come from a console game with controller, just don't give up. Just stick with it. You'll learn it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got two pieces of advice. First of all, go over to the Battle Nonsense YouTube channel and look up how limiting your frame rate can actually improve latency in game. Because while letting your frame rate be unlimited is sexy, limiting it to something that the game can actually achieve consistently can actually improve the latency of the game and improve your input latency, which is it may be just going from unlimited to 144 hertz or 120 hertz or something like that, but it can make a dramatic difference, and it can also smooth out the action in a pretty nice way. Second is stay away from Tefty. He's a narc. You definitely want to stay completely away from Tefty. He's a cop, and he will turn you in.
For what crime?
It doesn't matter. I mean, cops will just make up shit, as you well know.
Well, you were going
Ryan's not
about
a
49
fan.
FPS in a 144 zone. Gonna have to find you here.
Sonic NG23 says, what did y'all think of the Witcher series? So the Netflix series.
I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. I loved it.
It was pretty good.
I haven't seen
I
it.
really did enjoy it. If
Yeah.
you like the game, I think it's almost automatic that you're gonna like the series.
The world is just so fascinating that they have. And yeah, there's some pacing issues and maybe some choices here and there for acting and all that you can complain about. But it's just a fun world to jump into and a fun season. And yeah, it can be a little confusing with the way they did with the past versus present type of stuff that goes on throughout the season. But man, I cannot wait to see more.
Yeah, somebody compared it to Xena the Warrior Princess, and I thought that was a pretty good comparison. Do you guys remember? Are you too young for Xena?
I remember
I watched
Xena,
Xena.
but it definitely did not look as good as what they did. On
No.
Netflix.
But it was Xena was made in the 90s, right? So of course it's not going to look as good.
Yeah.
But it had a similar feel. Whereas it was, there was serious stuff in there, but it never felt like it was taking itself so seriously, like Game of Thrones.
Sure.
Serious,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's always room for fun and for humor in the Witcher series, and I appreciated that. I guess details have come out about the animated movie that's coming out as a bridge between season 1 and season 2. And it's going to focus on, I think his name is Boromir. He's the Witcher's, like his older
buddy.
Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, his buddy. Which is interesting because he's not in much of the game.
He's in the beginning of Witcher 3, right?
Yeah, he's in a little bit of it, but he's not much.
Yeah. Vesemir. Someone in chat said.
Vesemir. Thank you. Dreadnought says, does the person who sits in the middle seat of an airplane get both armrests? Why or why not?
Yes,
Yes.
because they're squished.
No. It is a dog-eat-dog world.
No,
You-
Briar.
you
This
either-
is why
You
Tefty's
either are
gonna
able
arrest
to
you.
take and
This
keep
is
your
why
armrest or you're not.
You've been
I
taking
am able
up
to keep your armrest, now belongs to me. Learn to
You
fend
have
for
your
yourself.
own. You have your own armrest though. That's just yours.
Now I've got yours too. What are you gonna do about it?
Do you take it as I claim this and I'm not moving type of the situation?
I'll look in your eyes when I take your armrest.
Oh.
What if you just got stared back and like the arm like shoved yours?
Then we
What
got
if
a
we just-
long
what
6
if-
hours in front of us, my friend.
What if they just slowly grasp your hand? In an
Honestly, the
interlock
way I
and
like
look
to
in
do it
your
is I like to
eyes?
just kind of
Yeah.
put my hand on top of the other person's hand and wrap my
Oh, that's
fingers
what
in
Briar's
between their
doing.
fingers.
Okay.
And then look them in the
And-
eye.
And then they give it up.
Yeah, it works better if the person is a male. If it's a female, it's like sexual harassment incoming. If it's a male, it's just an uncomfortable look and like a free armrest. Oh, fight for your right to have an armrest. If you don't fight for it, you don't deserve it.
But you
The
claim
middle
it, right?
person deserves both of them.
What's that? The middle person? Middle person? You don't deserve anything.
You
I think
deserve
it-
both
it
of them.
completely
Born
de-
with the right to have an armrest.
It completely depends on the person, honestly.
Yeah.
But usually, if I claimed it, I'm taking it. If my arm's on
Oh,
there,
yeah. This is mine now. You didn't defend your armrest.
you didn't establish dominance on the armrest. This is what you get.
Taking toxic masculinity to the skies where it belongs. Wayne says you find $100 note lying in the street, but it has writing on it that clearly looks like lottery numbers and tomorrow's date. Do you use the numbers and place a $100 bet for tomorrow's lottery, or do you simply pocket the $100?
Pocket it.
I'm playing the lottery.
I'm playing the lottery.
I'm not buying 100 lottery tickets. Maybe
Oh, I'm just doing it.
at most I'll buy a $1 ticket and keep $99. I feel like that's a win all the way around.
But you didn't have anything to begin, or you didn't have the 100 to begin with. So this is technically just free money.
Do you win more if you have 100 winning lottery tickets as opposed to one?
It's the story that counts. You're like, how'd you get this $50 million? Well, I found a $100 bill. I bet it all.
And I bought one lottery ticket, pocketed the other 99.
Scared money don't make money, Briar. Exactly.
I am putting the money down. You don't make more money if you have 100 winning lottery tickets. I guess if there's another winner, you would.
I mean, are you broke?
Yeah.
Would you pick up the money? Or
What if you get first, second, third, fourth? Get all the money.
Yeah.
What about that?
I don't think that's how it works.
It is. There's a second place. There's a third place.
Yeah, there is.
When you match like
All
you
but
know
one number.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, that changes things. Pardon my.
But it's a small portion of it though.
Briar doesn't know how the lottery works.
I actually don't play lottery.
Powerball.
Yeah, I don't either.
The only time I'll play lottery is if somebody else is playing. Like if I go to the store with a friend who buys a ticket, I'll buy a ticket just so I can share in the fun of like buying a lottery ticket and like watching the lottery picks the next day. But I'll never like go out on my own and buy a lot.
Yeah, I've rarely bought a lottery ticket. I bought lottery tickets for fun as like birthday stuff in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good gift. It's a fun gift. Yeah. I had a friend in high school who used to steal rolls of scratch-off tickets from a grocery store.
Of course you did, Briar.
You're like, this friend was Briar. That's what his name
No,
was.
it was not me. I swear to God, this was not me.
He was
So
already
he'd come
robbing
home.
banks at that point. Tufty.
Molotov cocktails, stealing lottery tickets.
He'd come home with a roll of these things and just scratch them all off. But he had to go to different places to turn them back in, because obviously, if somebody showed up with like, 30 or 40 winning lottery tickets, like once a day, you'd catch on. So he'd have to go around the state to turn them in and get the money.
Yeah, sprinkle it around.
And anytime there was actual money, which you only got one time out of, I don't know how many he stole, but I'd guess it's over 40 rolls of tickets.
Wow.
He only got like big money once, and that was only like $5,000.
So it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to play the lottery, guys.
He got fired from his job, but he didn't get
I
arrested.
would assume so.
King Justin says, if you're at a restaurant and your waiter doesn't come back, are you now the waiter?
Wait, one more time. Roll it back.
If you're at a restaurant and your waiter just doesn't come back, are you now the waiter?
I would assume it would just be another waiter would be your waiter, but I'm gonna
What
say
if nobody
sure.
comes?
You're
Then
waiting
you-
on the waiter.
then you also get to become the chef.
Right.
You can just go in the kitchen and make your own food. I think.
Is this a play on words? Like you're waiting?
Yeah, it's a play. You're waiting on the
You're the
waiter.
waiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're waiting on the waiter.
You
But that's
become the
not as
waiter.
fun. I'm going to become the chef. That's my answer.
One time I was at a bowling alley and the bartender was gone. And I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, like at the bar. And I'm here to bowl. I'm not here to wait at a bar. So I just end up grabbing a pitcher and like reaching over the bar and like pouring in the pitcher. But I was already kind of drunk. And actually, when I went out back onto the bowling alley, I tripped and I fell. The whole pitcher of beer, like a tidal wave across.
This is another, of course, Briar.
I know. I'm not surprised at all.
The owner of the bowling alley comes over, or the manager or whoever he is comes over and says, "Where did you get the beer?" He's like, "Well, I couldn't find the bartender, so I poured it myself." He's like, "Sir, the bar is closed."
Kind of drunk.
Oops.
Did you leave money for the alcohol?
Oh, definitely.
Boink.
Oh man.
Hugo Maroon says, if everyone else in the world departed in a spaceship and left you behind so that everything in the world belonged to you, where would you live? What paintings would you have on your wall? Where would you be? What would be the most ostentatious place to live? Oh, what would be the most ostentatious place you would crack one off?
The Vatican.
I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point. Like wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only you recognizing that you cracked one. Right?
I mean, at that point, pants are optional, right? Like there's
You can just be naked all the time.
Yeah. If
unless you're cold.
Depending on the climate that you choose to live in. Yeah.
I would definitely go south.
yeah, living so I don't know, that's a tough one. The whole world is your option. Like
It is hard because you're taking away the people, which, you do take into
Yeah.
consideration when moving somewhere. The people and language barriers. And sometimes it's a good thing, the people and the language. So it's difficult. You'll just be thinking about what? The weather? The
I
type of
think
house?
that's it. I think I'd be like, where can I live that it's warm, but I'm in the
not
least amount
Florida.
of danger?
well, consider this. Global warming basically just stopped because everybody's gone. Or climate change, sorry. So
I feel like there's a de-acceleration, though, right? Like it's not gonna just stop. It's gonna slow down and then come to a stop.
well
Yeah.
the reports are like if everybody stopped, then the deacceleration would happen and
Yeah.
less of that issue. So I think it would be okay to go south in certain areas.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to go anywhere there's like stuff that's gonna eat me or bite me. Like the Caribbean would be optimal, but I'd always be worried about hurricanes.
Yeah.
Southern
And you'd have
California.
no warning.
No early warning system. All of a sudden you'd be like, oh fuck, I think this is a hurricane.
Let's see. There'd probably still be fires in California for a bit.
And earthquakes.
Honestly, I might just stay
Earthquakes
here.
are all right.
But get like a really nice house by some really nice, peaceful water.
Like
there's
You
beautiful
definitely want to be
places
water
in
located,
Washington.
right? You want to be near water.
You can go fishing. Did the fish leave on the spaceship?
No, I think I don't think fish are spacefaring people.
Okay.
I'm really tempted to like Mexico, actually. Maybe the Baja Peninsula.
You don't want to get eaten by like a jaguar, though.
Are a lot of jaguars there?
If all the people are gone, there's probably going to be some jaguars
They're
that
gonna be rising up, man.
come back. They will.
The jaguar
rise up.
population is gonna go up.
It's
I
gonna.
think
They're gone.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
tasty.
How long is that gonna take though? Like 50 years?
You do have some time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got time. I guess the painting
go ahead.
part. Because we didn't answer that. I'd do Starry Night. That's my favorite painting.
That's a nice painting.
I love that
Yeah, but
painting.
where is that?
Like the
Probably in a
Guggenheim or
museum.
something, or
I'm not making like a spare trip on my
That's a
own
good
across the Atlantic to go pick up the Starry Night. Like I like that painting too.
Yeah.
But a print, I think you probably
Hold
find.
up. See,
locally.
that changes the whole dynamic
Yeah.
because you
Oh,
technically
no.
can go anywhere in the world because you're the only
Yes.
person now. Well,
Yeah, you technically
But how do
can,
you
but
get
the
there?
logistics of it are frightening.
I'm not a pilot.
well, I mean, you're going to stay at home then.
I'm just gonna
Doesn't
stay
stop
here.
you.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll
Right.
just move. I'll just, there's really nice houses by really nice bodies of water in Washington. I'll just go move into someone's houses. Really nice.
Find one of
I'll
those
just
like
drive there.
geothermal homes too. That's nice and warm, right?
There you go.
You mean
Solar
like built
panel.
into the side of a mountain?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, great.
The Mohegan 9 says, who would win in a fight? Matilda from the Matilda movie or 11 from Stranger Things?
I'll be honest, I haven't watched Stranger Things.
What?
Really?
Wow, I'm so surprised. I feel like that'd
I-
be right up your alley.
Yeah.
I don't watch much
Is it
regular
because it's
TV.
not anime?
Probably.
Okay. I don't know Matilda at all.
Matilda's currently an activist, so she's
An
got
activist?
space magics. Well, maybe not space magic, and and she's saving the world.
Who's Matilda?
I'm gonna need like a power for power breakdown here. Like I'm not familiar enough with the powers that I feel like I could make.
Matilda saved a
guess.
lot of children.
Yeah. Has she ever
Yeah.
hurt anybody?
I don't know if she used her powers for bad. She was saving people. She's
How?
a superhero. She can move things with her mind.
Can 11
Okay.
do that?
She can move things with her mind too. Yeah.
My guess is
Yeah.
that they both do the same thing,
Hmm.
probably.
Draw?
I don't know. I mean, 11's badass.
Oh, okay. Here Humble Tramp said Matilda had full control over all of her stuff, while 11 gets a bloody nose and messes herself up using her powers.
Okay. So
So
Matilda.
Matilda has more control, I guess.
All right.
She did mess up that principal in the movie. That's true. Matilda kicks some ass. The principal.
There's a Matilda movie?
Yes,
Okay.
it's pretty old. It
There's
was
no
great.
Stranger Things movie. So
I really enjoyed that.
last question of the evening. Sirius McDougal says, I was at a Cajun restaurant recently in New Orleans.
Oh boy.
They had 15 pounds of crawfish and called it their mountaintop special. How does that make you feel?
Follow-up
mountaintop.
question. Was it one of those mountaintop specials or something where you get a shirt if you complete it? Because then that pretty much cements my thoughts on.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, is your
Because-
name go up on the wall because you
Yeah.
summited the mountaintop?
Yeah. Is it possible to eat 15 pounds of crawfish? I think we're all in agreement. Yes, it's possible.
Yeah.
But is
Do you
it
get
normal?
a free t-shirt and your picture on the wall for doing
Yeah.
it? Probably. And
People-
that's not normal.
People competitively eat. It does happen. Are we all
Yeah.
competitively eating? No.
Or do you just
No.
do you have 15 pounds of crawdads just as your regular meal on a Tuesday?
Yeah. I think it made national news when some dude in Seattle ordered 15 pounds of crawfish, didn't it? It's like, holy shit, some dude ordered 15 pounds of crawfish.
Was it Patrick? He
That
does
was like
live
a
here.
coach or something. I can't remember. I have to look it
Maybe
up.
he's a coach. We don't know what he's
coaching
doing.
in a magic tournament.
He's a QA coach. We don't know.
Lunch is on me, guys. I'm ordering crawdads.
It makes me feel nonplussed. That's how it makes me feel.
Makes me feel like I need to know if there's a T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow-up question, please. We need to
Also,
know.
if anybody ever sees this on a menu, please send us a picture.
Yes.
The mountaintop special, and it's
Please do.
15 pounds of crawfish, because I feel like that's got to be a reference to this show.
Yes.
That has to be it, obviously. 100%.
Oh, man. Is that the
All
question?
right, that's gonna do it.
That's it?
That's Twitter questions.
Nice. I think that's the show, right?
Yeah.
Nicely done. Well, that is episode 173 of DCP Live. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Appreciate all the support across the board from all the various channels. Error or Ehroar, where can people find you on the internet?
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, all Ehroar, Ehroar, all the same, all three platforms.
And let's say,
have you ever considered to just like going like that way, like knowing that it was mispronounced by the Big Show, and then being like, you know what, I'm just gonna start saying it this way because
that's been the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people, when they see my name, they think Ehroar.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So you just dove in head first. I like it. I respect it.
Yep.
So if someone, let's say I broke something in the game, and I was like, oh my God, I need to get this to you. How would I do that?
My Twitter DMs are open, and that's usually where they come.
Cool. There it is.
Awesome.
Nice. Watts?
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts. He's having a stare off. This is the whole armrest situation all over again.
I'm not moving my arm for this next 6 hours.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can see me trying to steal your armrest on a flight from Connecticut to Seattle.
Stay away
I'm a
from
camel. I never pee. I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams at twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. Whether you're live here on Twitch or checking out on Spotify podcasts or Apple podcasts and all those places, or watching on the YouTube channel. Appreciate all the support across the board, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week for another episode. That's going to be in February of 2020 because January is over.
And we'll be Imperianing.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep.